Your life may not be blocked because heaven said no. It may be blocked because you cannot yet carry what you keep asking for. Right now, even in this moment, doors, help, favor, and increase may be closer than you think, but they are not waiting for louder prayers. They are waiting for stronger capacity. This is the part most people never hear. Desire is not the issue. Structure is. You are not simply waiting for money, influence, love, or opportunity. Those things may be waiting for a steadier version of you, a version that will not break when the weight finally lands. That truth can feel sharp, but it can also set you free. Many people spend years asking for more while never facing the deeper question: can I truly handle what I am requesting? Not only in emotion, not only in faith, in structure, in habits, in discipline, in the quiet systems nobody sees. Can your life hold the thing you keep calling a blessing? Can your mind stay calm when pressure rises? Can your schedule hold more responsibility? Can your character stay solid when success gets heavy? Stay with me, because this changes everything. Once you understand this, you stop chasing results with empty hands and start building the kind of life that can actually hold them. You stop saying, "Why is nothing happening for me?" and start asking, "What kind of vessel am I becoming?" That one shift changes the whole game. It moves you from frustration into construction, from begging into building, from confusion into clarity. And once that shift happens, increase stops feeling random. It starts feeling logical. It starts feeling earned. It starts feeling safe. The world tells you to dream bigger, ask harder, claim more, picture success, and expect life to bend around your wants. But deeper wisdom works by a different law. What you cannot manage cannot be multiplied. What you cannot sustain will not be placed in your hands for long. This is not rejection, it is mercy. It is protection. Because increase without structure does not feel like a gift. It feels like collapse. Think about the last thing you asked for. More income, a healthier relationship, a better career, a major opening. Look deeper. What were you really asking for? Usually you were asking for a result without the full responsibility tied to it. You wanted the reward, but not always the weight. You wanted the fruit, but maybe not the long season of root building underneath. Then when it did not appear, it was easy to feel forgotten, while the real issue remained untouched. Here is the hard part. Life responds to more than your words. It responds to your habits. It sees how you treat the small things already in your care. It sees how you act under stress. It sees whether you keep your word to yourself. It sees your money habits, your emotional patterns, your timing, your self-control, your boundaries, your ability to finish what you start. From all of that, a ceiling gets formed. And that ceiling is not random. It is built. It is architectural. It is made from your daily choices, your systems, your reactions, your consistency, and your ability to hold pressure without falling apart. Once you see this, you stop treating your limits like a mystery. You start seeing them like a blueprint, and that is where real change begins. This next part matters more than you think. The first great rule is simple. Blessing takes the shape of the vessel prepared for it. If the vessel is small, the flow stops small. If the vessel is wide, the flow keeps moving. There is an old picture of this truth in a desperate household with almost nothing left. A woman is drowning in debt. Her future looks shut. She has only a small jar of oil, barely enough to notice. Then comes an instruction that sounds strange at first. Gather empty containers and gather many, not a few, as many as you can carry. She obeys. She borrows vessels, fills the room with empty space ready to receive, and then begins to pour from the little she has. The oil keeps flowing until every vessel is full. Then it stops, not because heaven ran out, but because her prepared capacity ended. That picture still speaks. Provision often meets preparation. The flow often fills whatever room has been made for it. If you build a life shaped for fear, the result usually shrinks to fit fear. If you build a life shaped for order, peace, and stewardship, increase can actually stay. Your finances are not only shaped by the market, they are shaped by the vessel of your habits. Your relationships are not only shaped by who is available, they are shaped by the vessel of your emotional maturity. Your work opportunities are not only shaped by luck, they are shaped by the vessel of your skill, consistency, and readiness. Many people want abundance while still living inside systems built for survival mode. They want peace without order. They want wealth without stewardship. They want healthy love while keeping the same broken patterns. Then they wonder why the answer feels delayed. But often the real issue is not the lack of supply. It is the lack of room. If this is landing, keep going, because the next part explains why bigger gifts often feel heavier, not easier. The second rule is the rule of weight. What looks like a gift also arrives as responsibility. Every new level carries pressure. Every increase adds demand. Every open door brings decisions, expectations, and consequences. If the weight crushes you, then what looked shiny from a distance will feel like a burden in your hands. Think about someone asking for a huge business deal, then losing sleep when it arrives because they have never managed that level of pressure. Think about someone longing for marriage, then feeling trapped by the daily work of partnership because they never learned how to share life well. Think about someone craving leadership, then breaking under the pressure of being responsible for other people. This is where many dreams reveal their hidden side. You were never asking only for the reward. You were asking to be trusted with a heavier load. And trust grows through proof. It grows through how you handle the weight already on your shoulders. How do you deal with the pressure you have now? How do you respond when life becomes inconvenient? Do you stay steady, or do you unravel fast? Do you manage the smaller duty in front of you, or do you keep reaching past it while neglecting it? These are not small questions. They are the questions that reveal readiness. A person who cannot manage a small emergency will likely mishandle a major opportunity. A person who avoids basic responsibility will not suddenly become strong because the title is bigger. A person who crumbles under today's strain is not helped by tomorrow's greater demand. That is why delay is not always denial. Sometimes it is shelter. Sometimes it is wisdom. Sometimes it is life refusing to hand you something that your current structure would turn into stress. Listen closely. That can feel frustrating, but it is also hopeful because it means capacity can be built. The third rule is the rule of expansion. Increase tends to follow preparation. It follows growth in identity, discipline, and boundaries. You cannot speak your way into strength while refusing to build it. You cannot wish your way into a larger life while holding the same small patterns. First, identity must expand. You must start seeing yourself as someone who can already live at the level you are asking for. If you keep calling yourself broken, unlucky, behind, or incapable, your actions will quietly protect that old story. A person who still sees himself as helpless often sabotages the very chance he asked for. A person who still sees herself as not enough may shrink in the exact moment she needs to stand tall. Identity works like an inner setting. It pulls your outer life back toward what you secretly believe you are. Then discipline must expand. You need systems that keep working, whether you feel inspired or not. If you want financial peace, you need discipline with the money you already have. If you want better relationships, you need discipline in your words, moods, and reactions now, not someday. If you want professional growth, you need discipline in the tasks currently on your desk. Last comes boundary expansion. You must learn to say no. No to draining habits, no to constant access, no to every good option that steals your energy from the best one. Without boundaries, new opportunities become new leaks. Without boundaries, growth gets scattered. These three move in order. Identity sets the frame. Discipline builds the support. Boundaries protect what you built. When all three begin to strengthen together, life starts to change in a way that feels almost natural. What once looked far away begins to move toward you because you are no longer just wanting more. You are becoming someone who can keep more. Don't skip this. Most people lose right here. Now let's make it painfully practical. Because capacity problems usually show up in ordinary places. Some people ask for business growth while still unable to manage the money already in their hands. Cash comes in, then disappears. There is no budget, no tracking, no plan, no calm, just reaction. Yet they still expect a greater flow to solve the problem that poor stewardship keeps creating. More money does not fix a leaking system, it often exposes it. Some want promotion but keep resisting responsibility. They want the title, the raise, the respect, but not the pressure, the decisions, the accountability, or the need to stay steady when others depend on them. That is not readiness. That is appetite without structure. Others ask for abundance while using spending to soothe every emotion. Stress becomes shopping. Sadness becomes buying. Boredom becomes buying. Celebration becomes buying. If money is being used to regulate feelings, then both the feelings and the money are leading the person instead of being led. Some demand respect while having no rule over their own reactions. They want to be honored, but they live in constant emotional spill. They are easily triggered, easily shaken, easily pulled out of peace. Respect grows around self-governance. Then there are those who want partnership but cannot stand solitude. They want another person to fill the hollow places they have not faced alone. That usually turns love into pressure. It turns connection into need. And some long for wealth while folding under every little strain. They imagine comfort, not responsibility. Freedom, not management. Status, not stewardship. But the pattern is the same in every case. The person is asking for bigger outward results without building bigger inward capacity. They want fruit from a tree they have not developed. They want harvest from soil they have not prepared. That does not make them hopeless. It makes the real work obvious. And once the real work becomes obvious, change becomes possible. So here is the practical path. Simple, clear, strong. Start by creating one firm boundary in an area where you currently live without limits. It might be time, money, energy, attention, or access. Make it specific. Make it measurable. Make it non-negotiable. Say I stop checking my phone after a set hour. Say I will not spend beyond this amount in this category. Say I protect one evening each week for rest and reset. That first boundary becomes proof that you can govern yourself. Next, remove one source of chaos each week. 1, not 10. 1. Clear out the draining habit, the messy system, the toxic pattern, the room full of clutter, the unnecessary commitment, the relationship dynamic that steals strength. Chaos eats capacity. Reduce chaos, and you create space to grow. Then build one simple system. Not a perfect system, a usable one. A budget system, a workout system, a learning routine, a planning rhythm. A system matters because it works when feelings do not. Feelings come and go, systems stay. After that, measure one thing. What gets measured gets managed. Track savings, track workouts, track pages read, track focused hours, track emotional reactions if you have to. Measurement keeps you honest. Then take ownership in one area where you have been hiding behind excuses. Drop the speech, drop the blame. Say this is mine to manage now. Ownership builds strength. After that, practice waiting on purpose. Delay one purchase, delay one craving, delay one quick comfort. Teach yourself that wanting something is not the same as needing it immediately. That quiet training builds inner muscle. And finally, do one thing each day that future you can inherit. Learn a skill, save money, build something useful, read something sharp, clean something important, strengthen something that will still matter later. This is not flashy, but it is how lives change. Brick by brick, choice by choice, quietly, powerfully, for real. A lot of people stay stuck because of 3 common thoughts. The first is this: I am already ready, and life is just holding out on me. That sounds honest, but readiness is not proved by desire alone. It is proved by present capacity. If you cannot handle what is already in your care, then saying you are ready for more does not make it true. Performance under current conditions says more than passion ever will. The second thought is, once I get more, then I will become disciplined. Once I earn more, I will budget. Once I get the role, I will organize my time. Once I find the relationship, I will become emotionally healthy. But that is backwards. Discipline before increase. Structure before expansion. Stewardship before scale. The habits you refuse in the small season usually become the habits that sabotage the large one. The third thought is, I am too overwhelmed right now to build capacity. I am too busy, too stressed, too tired, too broke. I will work on it later, when life calms down. But capacity is often built under pressure, not after pressure ends. Strength grows while resistance is present. Calm seasons reveal strength. Hard seasons create it. If you wait for an easy moment to become stronger, you may wait forever. Better logic says this: life tends to support stewardship more than appetite. Greater trust tends to meet greater demonstrated care. Preparation is evidence. Small consistency is evidence. Calm under current pressure is evidence. If you begin to see your present season not as punishment but as training, then everything changes. You stop asking only, when will things get better, and start asking, who am I becoming while I wait? That is a powerful question. It moves you from helplessness to action. It changes the story. And once the story changes, your patterns can change too. This is where a new life often begins, not in one dramatic moment, but in a series of honest choices that build a stronger person. When capacity begins to match calling, life does not always become easy, but it becomes ordered. Opportunities start showing up without so much chasing. People begin to notice your steadiness. Trust grows around you. Recommendations come your way, because you now look like someone who can carry weight. Pressure still exists, but it no longer feels like it owns you. Situations that once caused panic now meet a calmer mind. Problems still arrive, but you face them with structure instead of noise. Money begins to follow instruction instead of emotion. You stop wondering where it all went, and start directing where it goes. Peace enters places that used to feel chaotic. Relationships also begin to change. The people who feed on your weakness become less comfortable around your new boundaries. The people who honor your growth begin to draw closer. You stop attracting only from need. You start connecting from strength. Even your environment often begins to reflect your inner order. The room looks different. The calendar looks different. The bank account looks different. The pace of your days looks different. Not because magic happened overnight, but because inner architecture started shaping outer reality. One of the most beautiful parts of this process is momentum. Small increases in capacity create small increases in results. Those results create confidence. Confidence creates more disciplined action. More disciplined action creates stronger capacity. Stronger capacity opens larger doors. Then those larger doors demand even more growth, which you are now equipped to build. It becomes an upward cycle, but only if you respect the foundation. Skip the foundation, and the house shakes. Build it slowly, and the structure stands. That is why the person you are becoming matters more than the exact thing you are asking for. If you become strong enough, wise enough, steady enough, and disciplined enough, many blessings become repeatable. Many setbacks become survivable. Many opportunities become reachable. That is real wealth, not just what lands in your hand, but what can stay there without destroying your peace. Your life may feel delayed, but delay is not always empty time. Sometimes it is construction time. The blueprint for a stronger life is already inside you, but blueprints do not build walls, raise beams, or carry weight by themselves. They need work, repeated work, honest work, patient work. Every boundary you set is a beam going into place. Every system you keep is support being added. Every act of discipline strengthens the base. Every moment you refuse chaos gives your future more room. Every time you choose responsibility over excuses, you become safer to trust with more. And that matters because what you are really building is not only a result. You are building a person who can receive without wasting, a person who can lead without collapsing, a person who can love without clinging, a person who can prosper without losing peace. That kind of person can recover from setbacks faster because the strength is internal. That kind of person does not need constant rescue because the structure is real. That kind of person can be handed more and still remain whole. So do not despise small beginnings. Do not laugh at simple systems. Do not ignore ordinary discipline because it looks boring. Boring done daily becomes powerful. Quiet consistency becomes visible strength. Repeated faithfulness becomes capacity. And capacity changes outcomes. So begin where you are. Build in the area that hurts most. If money is messy, start there. If time is leaking, start there. If emotions run wild, start there. If your environment is full of noise, start there. You do not need to fix everything in one day. You need one true step, then another, then another. Keep that rhythm long enough, and the life that once felt far away starts becoming normal. Not because you wished harder, but because you were finally ready to hold it. So take this seriously. Stop measuring your future only by what you want, and start measuring it by what you can sustain. Ask yourself the harder questions. Can I keep peace under pressure? Can I stay honest with money? Can I protect my attention? Can I finish what I begin? Can I carry small responsibility with excellence before asking for greater responsibility? Can I become the kind of person that greater opportunity would actually feel safe with? These questions are not meant to crush you. They are meant to wake you up. Because the truth is not that good things are forever out of reach. The truth may be that they are waiting for a stronger frame, a clearer mind, cleaner habits, better boundaries, deeper discipline, and a steadier soul. That is not bad news. That is direction. It means you do not have to live stuck. It means you can build, starting now, starting small, starting with what is already in your hands. Create one boundary, remove one source of chaos, build one system, measure one thing, take ownership of one neglected area, practice one act of waiting, do one thing today that tomorrow can inherit, then do it again and again. This is how a weak structure becomes strong. This is how scattered desire becomes focused power. This is how increase stops being a fantasy and starts becoming a fit. One day you will look around and realize the change did not come from noise. It came from structure. It came from becoming. It came from the quiet work nobody applauded at first. And when more finally arrives, you will not have to panic. You will not have to guess. You will not have to collapse beneath it. You will be able to carry it well. That is the goal. Not just to receive more, but to remain whole while holding it. Your inner design holds the pattern. Your daily choices raise the walls. Your life is the building site. The next choice is the first brick.